and arraignment of activist Boniface Mwangi, civil society organizations, long regarded as the guardians of justice and democracy in Kenya, now feel the walls are closing in. The democratic space they won is shrinking fast, with the state not only seeking to silence the voices, but also cripple their finances. So it's not just arrests.
Yeah.
They are looking for now the bank accounts. So beyond their growing concern for the country's deeper, more personal fear is setting in. Human rights defenders are no longer just chroniclers of state repression, but they are also becoming its victims. So it's not just arresting. It's also finding out where your accounts are and doing something to those accounts.
Yeah, I think Boniface actually mentioned that when he came out yesterday, and he said, but from what he'd come to learn or understand after the conversation he had with the officers, is that they had actually tried to access his accounts and they found that there was nothing there. He said, I don't have money. I don't know what it is that they were looking for. But I thought that was interesting, that by the time they're face to face with you, there's a lot of back end activity that has taken place.
When you touch somebody's finances, then after muzzling the voice, then if you target their money, that's it.
It is.
So to another story here that I found interesting. CJ Kome, Judiciary is prepared for 2027 election dispute cases.
Oh my God, you're preempting.
Yes. So Chief Justice Martha Kome has said that the Judiciary is prepared to adjudicate electoral disputes fairly. Martha Kome stressed that electoral justice is a shared responsibility and that sustained collaboration. Okay, you know how those statements go. But basically, wanasema wako tayari. Now to my last story. Rex Masai inquest.
Yeah.
You want to know what's happening?
Please do tell.
Okay. The Director of Public Prosecutions, Ranson Ngonga, has requested the court for more time.
To do what?
I knew. I saw just the look on your face. I knew. That was my reaction when I saw this. So the DPP is asking for more time to study the arms movement register from Central Police Station for June 18th and 20th, 2024. How many years later?
I have a question.
1 year. Yes.
Please, teacher.
Yes.
You know these things.
Yes.
So when arms move from a controlled space, in this case, controlled space being a police station, the officers who remove these arms, they are assigned them, and there is a register that you essentially mark for arms to leave an armory. Am I right?
So...
Do they? Okay, tell us the process.
Yes.
So that was my question.
So this is what happens. There is a brief.
Okay.
So the brief, of course, is coming from the OCPD.
Okay.
Or the commanding officer. So this brief is passed down because conversations have already been held.
Yeah.
This is our operation.
This is the activity.
So today there's a protest. These are the officers who are going to be in charge. These are the officers who are going to be at the station. These are the officers on duty, sentry officers, and all that. Fine. So for the officers going out, you're going out with riot gear. So there are those who are going with the batons, those who are going to go with the guns. So if you're going with a gun has to leave the armory. When a gun leaves the armory, there is a register.
Okay.
That this gun is assigned to these officers.
Okay.
And how the ammunition you're going to carry is also listed in the register.
Okay. How long
so
does it
once take? You go, how long does it take?
Yeah.
Is during that briefing in the morning.
Like in the morning?
Yeah.
In one morning?
Yeah.
An hour, maybe? Minutes?
It's not even a question of time. It's just the brief, like officer so and so.
Like the way we do in a newsroom. Like the way we do in a newsroom, where you'll be covering the story, you'll be covering the story.
Yes.
This is the person who's anchoring tonight. This is what, like that.
That's the brief.
Okay.
So no police officer leaves a station with a gun that is not assigned.
Okay. And you sign the thing as you're leaving?
Yes, you sign.
Okay.
That you've left with this gun.
Okay.
When you're coming back again, you have to sign in again.
Okay, because you do come back.
And there has to be an account. Okay, so how many bullets did you use? How many tear gas canisters did you use? Because if you don't trail and register all these details, then it will be so easy to go and claim, I fired 52 rounds.
Okay, so...
But you only fired 3. Okay. So you have to account for all this. So there's a register.
Okay. Now let me ask you another question. Yes. When you fire a gun and a bullet is discharged, when you retrieve that bullet, that you can actually trace the gun that it was fired from. Yes?
That's where the ballistics are done.
And it's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
Forensic analysis is easily done.
It's easily done. Okay.
Yep.
So once you get that information, right, you can go back to this register.
Yes.
And you can find out who had this gun and who it was signed out to.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
That's why I was asking how long it takes.
Yeah.
So the people who weapons were assigned to on that morning, we were not waiting for them to be born, go to school, go to university, whatever, get married, have children, and then come and sign the register. It was not over time. It was literally, that's why I asked you how long it took. It's literally in the morning. And the people who signed out those guns have been born. They've been working in the service, isn't it?
Yep.
They are known to people because they come and they sign. They put their signature behind having received it. Okay, so having put all this information together, then my question becomes, what on earth would the DPP want to study further than picking up a piece of paper and reading that on the 10th or the 22nd of July at 9:15, Ndu took this piece of ammunition and then in the evening at 7:45 returned it? What more would you want to study?
So, in this case, the Rex Masai case, this is a very key piece of evidence. All right? So, what then the DPP is asking, it is to study the arms movement register. So, here's the thing.
Okay.
In studying it, he says, I have just been supplied with the arms movement register from the investigating agency. I need time to peruse and closely study the data contained in the register. So he requested the court to defer proceedings until July 22nd, 2025, when he intends to place the custodian of the arms register in the witness box to clarify how many firearms and rounds of ammunition were issued to police officers assigned to cover the Gen Z anti-government protests. Remember what I just told you?
Yeah.
So there is what is going out, then there is what is coming in. So now, to go through all that data, is to now put the person responsible in the dock and ask now this very deep questions. So the custodian is expected then to shed light on the number and types of weapons and ammunition issued to officers deployed during the June 18th to 20th, 2024 protest, which was sparked by the controversial finance bill. So far, both senior and junior police officers who have testified have denied firing live bullets at protesters.
Okay.
So here's the thing. All those officers in that register, when being questioned, they're all saying, Sio Mimi. Sio Mimi. So the register is showing police officer or constable ABC.
And
you are given a
saying
firearm.
it's not me.
And they're all saying, no, me, I never shot any live ammunition. No, I didn't.
But which is why I asked the question that the forensics would be able to show. And this is something that, from what we understand, can be retrieved really quickly. So can you say it wasn't me against the register, or are we saying that somebody fiddled with the register?
You know, there's something called stalling. Eh? So in this case, the person who has testified so far, the main suspect, Police Constable Isaiah Murangiri, he told the court he was only issued with a tear gas launcher.
Okay.
Sikupatiwa bunduki ya risasi.
Okay.
So that's what he's claiming. So, however, photographs, because you remember the photographs that we all shown, and he was told, turn like this.
Down
turn,
to the mole
turn.
on the side of his cheek.
Yeah, and he said, no, that is still not me. So there's photographic evidence, there's video evidence. So photographs displayed during the hearing showed him with an anti-riot gun tucked under his left armpit while observing arrested demonstrators boarding a police Land Cruiser. So Murangiri denied shooting Masai on June 20th. So he's denying, and he's telling the court he was part of the Alpha Mean squad deployed to respond to the protest, and that he was dressed in civilian clothes and wore a cap on that day. So he's saying
it's not me.
It's still not me.
Oh wow, that's going to be interesting. So the question then becomes, if this inquest is to go further, they would ask, at what point does what they call plausible deniability come into play here against what the hard evidence is showing you as well?
Yes.
This is interesting. This will be one to watch. I think they go back into sessions today.
Yeah.
There's a mystery. It's taking place and starting to unravel in Ward 7B. Mysterious Kalombotole and the Kenyatta National Hospital horror. Now, in the corridors of Kenyatta National Hospital, where saving lives is a daily ritual, a chilling mystery has been quietly unfolding. More psychological killer than routine clinical affair. At the center of it is a man known only by a name no one can verify, Kennedy Kalombotole. I just want to play the music already. Good grief. He has no known relatives, no confirmed identity, and no documented origin. Yet, over the past 3 years, he has lived within Kenya's largest referral hospital, admitted, discharged, readmitted, and seemingly tolerated. It's just like the guy, everybody knows, this guy is always here.
Oh, yeah.
Twice now, within a span of 5 months, 2 patients have been brutally murdered in the same hospital block occupied by Kalombotole. Both victims were found with their throats slit. Both killings occurred in Ward 7B. Kalombotole is the prime suspect in each case. The latest killing took place on the 17th of July. Edward Maingi Ndegwa, a patient in Ward B, Level C, had been visited by a relative around midday. Less than an hour later, a cleaner noticed a pool of blood beneath his bed. His throat had been slashed. Detectives followed a trail of blood from the body to a nearby room where they discovered Kalombotole's blue slippers and a bedsheet, both stained with blood. A knife wrapped in gloves was later found outside the building directly beneath the ward's window. Ndegwa had been admitted to KNH on the 12th of July. He was attacked and killed 5 days later under circumstances police say remain suspicious and unresolved. Now, even as detectives gather a trail of the gruesome murder, nothing seems straightforward when it comes to the suspect, Kalombotole. Despite his lengthy stay, for crying out loud, it's been 3 years, Kalombotole officially remains a ghost. He has no identification documents. Multiple fingerprint scans have yielded nothing in government records, and social media appeals by the hospital to find relatives went unanswered. According to KNH, Kalombotole was first admitted to the intensive care unit in November 2022 before being transferred to a general ward. Now, being a homeless person, according to Chief Executive Officer William Sigilai's statement, with no known relatives, no proven identity, he stayed in at the hospital. In June 2024, the hospital was able to secure a home for him and he was discharged. However, he fell ill again in December and was readmitted to KNH. But the home refused to take him back for unspecified reasons after he was discharged in January this year. You wonder why the home refused to take him back.
Yes.
Thus, a man with no known past continues to live in a public hospital, not because he was sick, but because no one knew what to do with him. Even after the first murder of 40-year-old Gilbert Kinyua killed on the night of February 7th in the Ward 7C, the hospital continued to house Kalombotole. In that case, too, a knife was found on the ground below the window of the deceased's ward. He was flagged by the DCI as a person of interest, but months passed, no arraignment, no charges, no progress, just silence, and a man with a shadowy past sharing space with vulnerable patients.
This story, like I told you, this story reads like a crime series. And there's so many questions. I don't even know where to start. There's just so many questions to ask here. But one critical question is, because right now this is going to be legal.
Yes.
Because the family is saying they're actually going to sue KNH, okay? So the legal implications, here lies the issue of lack of traceability. So if you are unable to trace the identity of this patient, then it complicates any legal proceedings in this matter. Because how then do you account for the patient being in that hospital? How then do you account? Actually, let's take a step back. So when you go to KNH or any other hospital, from my understanding, and I'll stand to be corrected on this, there is what you call patient registration. So patient registration before admission. And I've actually taken a patient to KNH before. And one of the things is, and this was an emergency case, there is the issue of, first of all, get this person somewhere. Then whoever's brought this person, then you have to go back before a lot of things proceed. You have to then admit, meaning you have to give in the records of this person. Then there is the initial assessment. Like you go to any normal hospital, so you go to triage.
Yes.
So there's that initial assessment. So there has to be a record of that assessment,
Yep.
either digital or actually a physical copy, a file.
Yeah.
Then there is, for this patient, he was there for how many years?
3.
3 years.
In and out, but
So then in this case, there's something else now called continuous assessment records. So for 3 years, what was the assessment of this patient? Then you go to admission. There is the mental health. I was reading somewhere. The reason why this ward is of a concern is because Ward 7B is basically, let me just grab it. This is where you have patients with severe mental illnesses, forensic psychiatric patients under observation. All right? So this patient has been there for,
since
on and off.
On and off, since
On and off.
2022, yeah.
So what was the assessment of this patient?
Exactly.
And then the other question is, how many patients don't have identification at KNH?
How many people have just been hanging around for years?
So the
Not going
patient
anywhere.
who is on the next bed, do we know, apart from Kalombotole, how many other patients don't actually have identification? Because we may be looking at Kalombotole today.
Yeah.
There'll be another Kalombotole next week or next month. So how far back do you then trace? How many patients do we have here? How many records are in our possession?
It's interesting that you bring this up, because if this is a ward that is that then caters to severe mental health issue patients, then there must be certain questions that are being asked. Now, the CEO is also lending some information here where they said they also want to check and see, but there should be a file for him. That what was he admitted for? It says that he came in under the ICU in the first place, but what was he admitted for? You don't just go to Ward 7B for after surgery.
No, it means Ward 7B is where you have vulnerable patients.
Exactly. You don't
So
just go
there
there
are
for
protocols.
anything.
There are protocols. There's a way to observe the patients who are in that particular ward. So what exactly was that? I mean, there are a lot of things that KNH will need to answer. But then again, given the fact that if you're talking about staffing issues, if you're talking about security and monitoring, CCTV cameras, were they working?
You have to check. All of these questions have to be answered. Another person has died under the same circumstances. We'll have to check and see. It's Good Morning at 7 a.m.